Moviesucktastic is a podcast about bad movies and the people that love them. But it's more than just a podcast, it's also an online presence. If you want to know more about Moviesucktastic or want to become a part of Moviesucktastic, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter at Moviesucktastic, you can find our blog at boothreviews.blogspot.com, or if you want to give your own reviews that we might use on the show, you can go to reviews.moviesucktastic.com and check out our own little lunch.com community for Moviesucktastic. Check us out and become a part of the show, because the only thing more fun than a bad movie is sharing it.
A mugging occurs every 3 minutes.
Hey, lady, you can hear me in there. Open up.
A murder is committed every 10 minutes. Someone's got to do something. And someone is.
Who are you? Just...
He's a vigilante.
You've certainly picked an unusual hobby.
Hobby? Oh, no, my dear, this is not a hobby.
And he's turning up the juice on creeps.
Old enough to kill, old enough to die.
Crooks.
You can't help being a coward and a murderer.
This doesn't change anything!
Maybe this will.
And killers.
Tonight's your night. The way I look at it, when your time comes, your time comes. Bingo.
In a mind-shattering,
Shocking, isn't it?
side-splitting,
Ben Callen. Callen meets. I know you're bacon.
hair-raising,
Just pull the switch!
yeah, spine-tingling,
Justice is done.
high-voltage comedy.
I can get you something real special for your last meal.
Rod Steiger, Lauren Hutton, Heather Graham, Lyman Ward, and Isaac Hayes.
How about some Kentucky Fried Chicken? No! They make good chicken.
Guilty as charged.
You're listening to Moviesucktastic.
Dude, no! Oh!
Oh, hello.
Is it true? Are we here?
We are here.
Are we back?
We are back, baby. And as usual, of course, motherfucker.
Now what? What you
No. I got the movie playing in the background, but what a pain in my ass.
It upside down and inside out and
It is not.
negative and
No
Fuck 'em.
siree.
fuck it.
Yeah, no, it's fine. You know what? This was not an easy movie to find.
No.
I had to get my copy from you.
She did.
Because this is how hard this movie is to find. It is not out anywhere in the internet, nowhere around, nowhere. All the places that you're thinking out there in internet land, ain't there. It is not at the local video stores, if you still have any.
There's no such thing as a local video store anymore.
Well, there's still a couple. They're kind of like vintage shops at this point. They're not there. Now, I work for a very large library system, And there's 79 libraries involved in this system, and they can all loan materials through any of them. Nowhere, not even on VHS, was this found in 79 different buildings. Okay?
Now, I used to own a DVD of this, so it was released on DVD.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. When we're done with this episode and I upload it to YouTube, I'm taking bets now we get flagged. A movie this hard to find, we get flagged.
Nope. No one even knows this film exists. It's the perfect challenge.
You know what it is.
And it's a shame because it's a cool little film, and I think it is probably one. I mean, I'm biased because I challenged it to you and I like it, but it's and I might be pausing periodically. I'm losing my voice today for some reason. You'd think I talked all day for a living, but this film is, I think, an example of one of the better, low budget, stylized. I'm not going to say campy because I don't consider it camp. But it's like stylized, a little over the top 80s horror films. It's in 1991, but it still kind of as 80s horror.
We've had that discussion where the first couple of years, 2-3 years of the next decade is pretty much the decade before. I mean, that's the truth. You didn't get out of the 70s in 1980. It just didn't happen. It was still the 70s in 1980, 81, 82-ish is okay. You started to get out of it. So, you know what? In all respects, this is kind of an 80s film because even though it came out in 91, it still kind of has that 80s feel to it.
It's definitely 80s. It's actually that kind of 80s into 90s where video stores were becoming mainstream.
Yeah.
And so this was really that kind of film where I didn't check to see if it had a theatrical release.
It did.
I think it did because I remember seeing movie trailers for it. But this is the kind of film where even though it had a theatrical release, they were thinking about video.
Oh,
you just feel it. And I just love this film. I mean, I'm a little biased because I'm big I like fun horror and I also like vigilante justice. So I'm a little biased.
And I got to admit, when you challenged it to me, I'd never heard of it before. And I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. And I watched it. I immediately liked it from the first 5 minutes that I saw. Immediately. Rod Steiger is fucking lovable. And he's killing people, and he's just lovable doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Rod Steiger plays, what's the name of the character again? It's Kalen. Kalen? Which is kind of slang for killing. They play a lot with that in the film, and it never gets old. And he's a meat packing plant owner, and he has this nighttime job where he goes out and kidnaps convicts that have escaped the death penalty executes them in his basement. And it's beautiful electric chair with like feathered back to it. Very, very
before
chair.
Game of Thrones took the whole winged chair thing. It's like it was in this. It's pretty neat stuff. And he's just so nonchalant. He's so charming, so soft spoken, and he's just enforcing justice every inch of the way. And he brings in the families so that they can watch, so that they can have some sort of peace. There's one execution where it's a black family. It's a husband and a wife, and the wife is she's like catatonic practically. And as soon as this guy fries, she's like, "Fry, you motherfucker!" And he's like, "Oh, darling, you've come back to me." And then they embrace, and it's like, "Oh, that's nice."
Excuse me. Yeah. So Heather Graham is in the film.
Who is
and the reason I mentioned
terrible in the movie. I love Heather Graham. I think she's smoking hot. I've loved her ever since License to Drive, but she is god awful in this movie.
Right, now, you got to be fair though. I don't think they're really pushing for any sort of realism from the actors in this. I think everybody was expected to be a bit over the top.
Yeah. But, everyone kind of delivers a pretty, specifically Steiger delivers an excellent performance.
Well, it's Rod Steiger.
Well, yeah.
My favorite part of the whole film was in the trailer where he dives through the window. Says, "What are you?" Like, "Justice." But he's like out of breath because he jumped through the window. It's like, "Justice."
It's just hold on. I'm 70. It's like, justice. Because I like to see you do this at my age. Okay, I just like to see that.
And but I mean, Heather Graham has the weakest character because it's Kimberly. She's the crusading, like, left-wing social worker who's all about protecting people, and he kind of takes her in and under. I love the whole thing where he saves her from the rapist,
right?
Who played by what's his name, Michael Talbot.
Yeah,
my favorite role of his. He's like the best rapist ever.
In her office, he's so sweet, and he's just like, "Hey, would you like to go dancing?" She's like, "No, I can't." He goes, "Why not?" She's like, "Well, it's against the rules." And he's like,
10 minutes later, you can't come in here and shake your tits around and expect to get out of it. If that comes up while we're talking, we are going to stop for that. It's fucking great. I love him in this. But when Callan saves Heather Graham's character, Kimberly, and takes her back, like, he's giving her this tour of his death camp.
Yeah, right.
He's like, yeah, and here's why I electrocute him. And no, it's not a hobby, dear. It's what I do. It's important. And he wins her over.
Yeah, immediately.
It's like he doesn't even try. It's not like that kind of, she knows what we're doing. What do we do?
Well, especially the one convict where the guy that he killed didn't have anyone to witness his death, and she's like, "If you would like me to witness his death, because you think it would help him get into heaven, I will." And she does.
Now, it sounds like it's poorly written, but I want to point something out. They kind of set up the fact that she is easily swayed because her brother's living with her, and he starts going through. Remember when you were dating the hippie guy, and you thought you could, like, transit, that you were reincarnated from, like, a gypsy woman from the 17th century. Right. What about this person? And he runs through this list of all these different,
this laundry list of just bad ideas.
Bad beliefs, like belief systems that she bought into so easily.
Right.
And so they kind of set up that idea of, she hears something that she's easily swayed to join. And so you kind of forget that part because they just kind of lay the groundwork for it. Right. But once she gets in there, like you said, but by the end of it, she's like, I'll watch. You need help?
I'll pull the switch if you really want me to. I'm sure if he asked, she probably wouldn't have been opposed to it.
Yeah. Now, we're mentioning Rod Steiger a lot.
Yes.
There are so many fucking actors in
Lauren
this movie.
Hutton. I mean, just
Lauren Hutton.
She's like number 2.
The movie. Yeah.
And she has a very small part in the movie too.
No, I don't think so at all.
Oh, I think it's a small part.
I would call it an ensemble cast. I know we're focused on Rod Steiger and Callan, but Lauren Hutton and what's his name?
I know you're thinking the guy from Ferris Bueller.
That's not the guy.
Liam Ward, Stanford.
Liam Ward, who? Oh, the father in Ferris Bueller. You're right. Yeah, Liam Ward. Yeah, Lyman Ward.
Lyman.
I mean, they have a major role in the film, and she spends a lot of time. And I love the idea. Like, Lyman, he's a politician who's trying to get handouts from businessmen like Callan, and he's also has killed his mistress
secretary.
and framed a black man for it, of course. And what else are you gonna do?
Well, yeah.
And so she knows, and all she does is torment him endlessly throughout the film.
That's right. And at one point she says, "You know what? I'm your punishment. It's either me or jail." And he's just like, "Will you shut up?"
It's so great because you can definitely see that happening, like, on a soap opera.
Sure. Like
being played through, and it's just a great character. She's evil, but she's like a necessary evil to him. And I mean, again, Lyman Ward, Lauren Hutton, Isaac Hayes.
Aloysius. He plays the character Aloysius.
Old enough to kill, old enough to die. They played most of his best lines in the trailer.
Well, that's right. He goes, "How about a nice dinner? Some Kentucky Fried Chicken." And he's like, "No." He goes, "They make good chicken."
Even down to Zelda Rubinstein playing the maid.
The woman from Poltergeist. If anyone can't picture her, lead us to the light. The little short lady.
Right. Mitch Pileggi.
Love Mitch Pileggi.
Fucking Pileggi.
X-Files.
X-Files.
Shh.
shocker.
Shh.
What?
Nothing. I didn't want you to start running through a laundry list of his films yet.
I was just going to say Mitch Pileggi and Shocker, that's all.
Damn you, man.
Uh-oh. Did I accidentally... never mind. Keep moving.
Never
Keep
mind.
moving.
Well, we'll get to that.
Keep moving. But yeah, it's just a great character. It's a great character movie. All the actors are just... every actor, like, takes the screen on.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
specifically Mitch Pileggi. I love him so much. And they're just kind of talking to him when he's in the cell. They're bringing in a new guy. And he's like, and what about you? You know, or do you feel, sorry for the man you killed? He goes, no, he irritated me. I love this so much. He irritated me. Actually, I think he threw a fight. He's like, he fucking irritated me. It's just so good.
The kid they kill. What was the kid's name? Is that? I'm trying to. I didn't look up his name. I swear he's from something else.
The kid? What kid? The kid with the overbite?
The kid. The kid that old enough to kill, old enough to die. That kid. The kid
yeah, he was in one of
the
Freddy films. I think he was in the Freddy's Revenge. He played the deaf kid. He was the one that got the Q-tips in his ears. Pretty sure that's him.
Really?
That was the one where he's going through the woman's purse and he's like, she's fucking dead. And he's like, a meter maid. Yeah. She's dead. And then he nabs him. I believe he was in one of the Freddy films. I think it was Freddy's Dead.
What was his name in the movie? That's why I can't remember.
When I see it,
that's killing me.
Ricky Dean Logan. I think it was Landon. Yeah, Landon was his name in the film. And let's see, was he in Freddy's Dead? Like I think he was.
Yeah, he's in a Freddy film. I already see it.
It's Freddy's Dead. Though?
He was in Back to the Future Part 2.
Oh God,
Freddy's Dead. Yeah, Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare.
He was the one that got the Q-tips in his ears. His mother fucked up his hearing, and Freddy fucked him up.
You know what? I don't remember that because I honestly have to go back and revisit the entire series because I don't remember anything past Part 3.
Oh God, I saw that one in a fucking movie theater.
Yeah, me too. We should
actually. That came out the same year this movie came out.
You know what? A couple years ago, I did a marathon where I watched every single Jason film in a row.
Oh God,
I should go back and do that with Freddy.
I was just thinking about Jason this morning for whatever reason. I don't know, maybe because Halloween's coming up, and I was thinking about the remake that they did in 2009. It's 5 fucking years ago at this point, and how they never bothered. It was terrible. How they never bothered to make another movie, and they even had one slated, and they had a release date, and it was going to be called Friday the 13th Part 2 in 3D. And I remember in the beginnings of this show...
I think we talked about that.
We did. In the beginnings of this show, like the first 10 episodes, we talked about how that was a stupid idea. It's like, really? Part 2 in 3D? Come on.
Yeah, because that's the whole thing. You got Jaws 3D. Freddy was in. Jason was in 3D originally. You can't pull that in 2. That's just it doesn't ring.
Hell, at that point, Iron Man 2 had not come out, and I called it then that Iron Man 3 would come out in 3D. I said, I bet they don't do 2 in 3D. They'll do 3 in 3D because they fucking get it.
That's not a huge leap.
No, it's not.
Yeah, for Freddy and Jason, both remakes, they never bothered to do anything. It's like, oh, okay, no one liked them. We should stop.
Yes.
Halloween, they should have stopped.
Now, on the other hand, that Friday the 13th remake, I think, did well. I think it made 25 million that weekend or more.
Yeah, but no one. I don't. But I think critically, though, I think just no one liked it.
Well, the fact that it made that much money it's kind of. I have to be honest. The fact that it made that much money, the fact that they didn't attempt a sequel, it's kind of, to me, it's kind of a little shocking that they didn't. It's like that it
I'm not surprised.
I think it made. You know what? I'm going to look it up because I think it had a very, very large opening weekend.
Yeah, but again, opening weekend. But I think they also look at things like viewer feedback, reviews, and honestly, like that.
Well, hey, how many movies come out that make a huge amount of money and suck, but they still make a sequel?
But, I mean, Freddy, yeah. I mean, Jason, yeah. Freddy, yeah. Oh, we're redoing the franchise? Yeah, let's go see it. But then when everybody says, yeah, that sucked.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm on the IMDb page, and 2009. It made 40 million its opening weekend.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's where it's bad. It made 40 million its opening weekend, and then it made 65. So it only made 25 more million after that. That goes to show just how many people didn't like it and stopped seeing it. But
yeah,
there's a Friday the 13th film slated for 2015. Another remake of the original. It's like they decided the 2009 one didn't exist, and they're going to start over again.
Well, they do that. They do that with Texas Chainsaw every 5 years at this point.
Yeah, and
so
then they still have Friday the 13th Part 2 in 3D listed.
In production forever.
Yeah. It made 91 million total. The budget was only $19 million. To me, even if people hated it, to me that's a risk worth taking.
Now, I think we derailed a little bit.
A little.
We could probably save some of this for a more Halloween-based episode, like the week of Halloween.
Yeah, that is true.
Which is probably going to be our the episode or whatever you challenge me now, because I'm going to be in Indiana next week.
Fine, that's fine.
So that just came up. So that's happening.
Excuse me.
Although honestly, I could try recording from Indiana. We'll see what the hotel internet's like. I'm not going to be doing anything else.
Oh God, we can always try.
That might be fun. The time difference would be interesting too.
That's right. You're an hour behind.
Yep.
And will we have changed the time here, or is that at the end of the month?
I don't care. Someone will tell me. My computer will tell me when the time goes back.
Anyway.
Anyway.
All right. So that's interesting. And the film I'm challenging you to is appropriate for Halloween anyway. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
I wonder what it is.
The cat's kind of out of the bag already, you bastard.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Now,
let's keep pretending that.
So, what else is there to say about Guilty as Charged? The film is basically the storylines intersect when the black man that's been framed for the murder of the politician's
secretary,
mistress is the word I was looking for, and is captured by Kalen, and Kalen approaches Stanford, the politician, to witness it. And then there's the whole thing comes to a head as both storylines merge at the end, and the whole idea of is the wrong man going to be executed, etc. Right. Morality comes into play, but not with the sacrifice of any kind of fun.
Well, exactly. And what's interesting about that, we've talked about this a bunch of times on the show. When we like a movie, it's insanely hard to review. Because you don't find enough things to talk about. We talk about the parts we like, but you like all of it. So what are you going to do? You're going to go, minute by minute, every 10 minutes. This is what I liked in this 10 minutes. It's hard, and it makes it difficult to review.
And in some ways, I probably should have challenged you to one of the many other horror films out there involving death row inmates as a challenge from Death Row Game Show. But again, I like the film, and every now and then we it's only so long that we can poke fun at bad movies.
Right.
And even Death Row Game Show, we didn't hate that much. It was just pointing out some.
I liked it a lot. It's a film I grew up with. I'm a little biased because of it, but in the end, I think it was just genuinely. It's mostly a funny film. I liked it. It's one of those late night films from my youth.
Yeah, but this is probably the most charming death row serial killer movie you'll ever see.
Absolutely.
And Rod Steiger, he's almost like Santa. He's like the Santa Claus of the death sentence.
Yeah.
Really is. Just so and he keeps everything a secret, but again, he's not gonna kill witnesses to protect it. He's like, oh well, this is how it has to be. And the ending, which I'm not gonna ruin, is so perfect.
Now, one thing I want to bring up about the ending, and I'm not gonna ruin it either, but there's that one shot in the ending, that I could swear, and it's the shot that was stop motion, at the very, very end. It was the electric chair part of the ending.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? Do you know the part I'm talking about? Without ruining it, it's the part for the electric chair that kind of, it's like stop motion. It kind of animates a little bit. Anyway, where I'm going with that.
Are you talking Wait, are you talking about before or after the epilogue?
Before.
Before. Okay.
Yeah. No. This is at the end. Yes.
You got to be more specific.
It's after the epilogue.
Okay, after the epilogue. All right, I have to go back and take a quick look at that.
Well, anyway, where I'm only going with it, and it's kind of silly that I'm bringing it up, but
then why?
I've never seen this movie. I've never seen this movie until you challenged it to me. But that scene, I could swear they had in compilation discs for like horror films. You know, like when they throw together a bunch of like different scenes from movies, like iconic films.
You mean like a compilation?
I said that. I actually said compilation.
I know. That's why I said it. I'm sorry.
Oh wow, you're a dick. Anyway, like when they show little excerpts from like Evil Dead 2, and then Texas Chainsaw, Friday the 13th, Freddy films. I could swear that the end of the film from this, that quick little tidbit is in some compilation discs I've seen.
You're not talking about after the credits, are you?
No, it's before the credits.
Okay, I'm checking that out right now. What part's on the screen right now behind us?
It's Aloysius is talking to the one black guy. He's offering him the chicken dinner, Kentucky Fried Chicken dinner.
They make good chicken.
Yeah. They got good chicken. Don't you like chicken? You're black, aren't you?
I'm not seeing the part you're talking about, by the way.
It's at the end.
At how far at the end are we talking about?
It's literally, okay. Without ruining the ending.
Yes.
It is after she breaks in. Okay. After she breaks in.
Oh, I got you. Hey.
It's right after that. All right?
Sure.
A lot of dead silence here.
Well, keep talking because.
Well, anyway, it's that scene at the end. I could swear I've seen that. Like maybe you remember when MTV used to do
no.
Like every Halloween they'd always have like horror film excerpts and all that, and they'd have do you remember that stop motion animation they had of the hand coming out of the ground? What was that called? It was called like Midnight not
like
Midnight.
Chiller Theater, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah. And they would always show like little cuts from horror films and whatnot. And I could swear, even though this isn't really a horror film, it's actually not at all. This scene was in that.
Well, we'll have to talk later because I don't see anything. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a stop motion scene with the electric chair.
I have no idea. You keep saying that. I have no idea what part you're talking about. I have to go back and look.
It's at the very end. It's like 5
saying.
minutes before the credits roll.
Right. And you repeated that. I can't find it. I don't want to waste any more time on it. Okay. And when I revisited the film, but I didn't watch I've seen the film like countless times over my life, so I didn't watch the last 10 minutes, just because I was doing some other stuff.
Fine.
So I revisited the majority of it.
It's fresh in my head because I literally watched it this week.
Right. So I'm sure you know what you're talking about.
I'm trying. Anyway,
but there's great lines in the film. Every character has great lines. Everyone delivers them with just enough overacting where it's not a serious film.
Right.
But it does not descend into the camp. It's a beautiful little movie.
It really is.
A little tear in my eye.
Yeah. I'm adding this to my collection of films. I liked it that much.
I knew you'd like it too. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it that much. So this is definitely going in there.
If you're a Lauren Hutton fan, must see. If you're a Rod Steiger fan, must see.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's actually a Lyman Ward fan, but if you are, must see.
Yeah. If you like him so much, if you can't get enough of him and Ferris Bueller, then this is the film for you. He actually has lines in this movie.
He had plenty of lines in that. And he's been in a lot of
And
other
Ferris
films
Bueller?
too.
Not really.
I feel so bad, like with actors like this, where like he's got a ream of work. He's done so many other films and TV shows, and it's always just like, yeah, the father from Ferris Bueller. I feel guilty.
It's just such an iconic film.
I know.
It's hard not to just associate him with that always. It just is. It's like they had the interview with what's his face? Oh shit, the guy that played Gus Fring on Breaking Bad. Something Esposito, I think is okay. He's been excuse me, he's been in a ton of shit. But he's most well known for Gus Fring. And they actually had him in an interview, and he says, I love the character, I love the show. I'm almost mad that he's more famous than me, but I get to play him. Those were pretty much his words. And I mean, he's been in everything. He was in that Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode, One More with Feeling. He played like the devil or the demon or whatever, and he was great in that. But nobody knows that's him. I mean,
and here's a coincidence. Just glancing over Lyman's other work.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street 2.
Oh, really?
We got 2 Nightmare on Elm Street people in here.
Wow.
So if you want to second guess your choice, you can always double.
I really don't. I really don't, because the second you challenged this to me, I immediately thought of the film that I'm challenging to you. And then there's an actor connection as well. And it not only is it an actor connection, but it's a thematic connection. Yeah, shut up. It's a thematic connection. And I'm like, there's no way I'm not challenging it to you, because it is one of my favorite 80s films. So.
Well, we could probably just review it right now.
Yeah, we probably could.
But I mean, I feel bad shortchanging Guilty as Charged a bit, because there's not much to talk about.
No.
It's always there's always less fun things to talk about when you like the movie.
That's right. That's just the truth.
I mean, my favorite part, again, when he dives through the window and when he's sweet talking to the girls. Oh, no, dear, it's all about justice. I mean, any other parts you can think of that you like stick out? I love when Laura Hutton is torturing her husband.
Right.
It's like, you don't have the balls to hit me, and he goes ahead and backhands her.
Right.
Backhander. There's that nice moment where like the dynamic changes. He's like, you're gonna regret that. She plays it, but I like watching her get beaten. Not for that part, but because she's such a strong female character or actress that the minute it happens that wasn't a good call. No, yeah, that felt good now, but you're fucked.
Yeah, no, that's true. One of my favorite parts. I mean, there's so many that are great. Like little ones, like you were saying with the one guy that tried to rape Heather Graham, but the guy from Nightmare on Elm Street, where he's just in his apartment and he's just looking through, leafing through a purse, and he's just like, he goes, what, $3? I did it for $3, and then he's like leafing through it some more. He goes, I'm gonna kill her. He goes, I can't just kill her for no reason. Meter maid. She's dead. One of my favorite parts in the film. Just his face, the reaction in his face, and just how it was funny too. It just comes off as just funny, and and they keep talking about how he's young and how he's getting away, and I'm like, well, I don't know. He kind of looks like a douchebag. They're kind of pushing he's young and that's why he's getting away with this shit kind of thing, but I thought that was still good because he has such a weird looking face with terrible overbite, And
I think most of the people were picked for their caricature looks. I mean, everybody's a little over exaggerated.
Right.
Everybody's larger than life, so to speak. Now we haven't. I don't think we talked about writers and directors on the last few things we talked about too much. I want to point out that the writer of this, Charles Gale. He's only done a couple other films, and one of them is Ernest Scared Stupid.
Didn't think I could get fresh Miak, did you?
Not my favorite not my favorite Ernest film.
No.
But it has one of my favorite Ernest moments because it's so wrong.
Which one is that?
It's the whole thing is they're trying to stop a curse that's going to kill all the children.
Right.
On Halloween, and he messed up doing it, and so he turns to Eartha Kitt, who's the witch. He goes, "But only the children, right?" With a smile on his face, just like, "But I'm safe, right?" It's such a perfect moment. It's because it's funny, and then like 2 minutes later, you're like, "That wasn't so funny." I don't know. It's just one of my favorite moments in my not favorite Ernest films. I think the best ones are the ones they didn't tie to holidays. Unfortunately.
Sure, like Ernest Goes to Jail and the classic
Ernest.
Goes Ernest. What is it? Ernest goes to camp. That's the very first
Ernest
one,
goes
right?
to camp. Yeah, it's Ernest Goes to Camp. Was Ernest Scared Stupid next?
No.
It was Ernest Goes to Camp, Ernest Goes to Jail, Ernest Scared Stupid, Ernest Saves Christmas. I think that's the order they're in.
Ooh, I can find out. That's easy.
We have to find. You know what the problem is? Over the years, I've become so biased because Ernest Goes to Jail is my favorite Ernest film. Period.
Oh yeah,
I think it's
totally agree.
So I've lost track of the actual order of the film because I don't go back. I don't even watch the original anymore. I just watch Ernest Goes to Jail.
I haven't seen the original in a really long time.
Oh, ages. And it's funny. It's fun, but it's one of those kind of kids films where it falls apart in the third act.
Well, I wouldn't have put this together like this. It's Ernest Goes to Camp in 1987. Then Ernest Saves Christmas in 1988.
Oh, yeah, I got it asked backwards.
Christmas was the very next one. I would have never put the
Halloween,
Christmas
right?
film. Then Ernest Goes to Jail, 1990.
Oh.
Then Ernest Scared Stupid.
Then, let me guess. Hold on. Then it's Ernest Goes to Ernest Goes. I forgot. I can't because the rest were direct to video. Because then there was Ernest Rides Again. There was Ernest.
Ernest Rides
Joins
Again
Band.
Is the very next one.
Right,
That was
and
in
then there's,
'93.
Ernest Goes to School.
94. That was the next one.
And then Ernest.
Ooh.
Then he went to Africa.
Ernest Goes to Africa. 1997.
I own that one. I've never seen it.
Oh really?
I own it. I bought this complete Ernest set that has even the commercials and stuff in it. It was in a bargain bin for $2.
Oh god.
And I have yet to watch it.
And then the very last Ernest film he ever did was Ernest
No, tell me because I can't think of it.
Ernest in the Army.
Okay.
1998.
In my head
which I've actually seen most of. It is so god awful.
I've never seen it.
I do not want to remember Ernest P. Worrell or Jim Varney in that movie in any way.
In my head, I was like, the last one, he either joins the Army or he plays basketball, and I couldn't remember which one. So, poor Ernest.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, and the director, Sam Irvin, it looks like the biggest thing he ever directed, unless I'm wrong, besides Super Bowl, is Elvira's Haunted Hills.
Oh God.
He directed Oblivion in 1994, but that was direct-to-video direct.
Oblivion.
That's like right up there with Arena.
Okay.
It was like a sci-fi western. I don't know if you remember that.
No, I don't. Well, I shouldn't say I don't. I don't recognize the name. The film I might have seen, late night.
You know what? I guarantee you've seen the box cover in video stores.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Alien with an eye patch, a sheriff's badge. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think I've seen that.
Yeah. See, I told you.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah, I'll pull it up.
So,
real quick, but that sounds just stupidly familiar.
Now, do we want to? Are we done as far as do we want to rate Guilty as Charged?
Yeah, definitely.
Now, I'm going to give you my biased choice. I want to say
I'm gonna
10.
Oh no.
You're like diving in, waiting for me to say 6 or something.
I was really expecting you to say 7, and I was going to be on board with it.
I honestly almost said 7, but I jumped right to 10.
No way, dude.
Can we give it an 8? Because I think the film succeeds at every level it tries.
But here's the thing: we really have to sit back and really take a look at that 8, because we've never, in the 5 years that we've been doing this show, because our anniversary, shit, did it pass already? Oh, fuck.
Huh? What? I don't know.
Our 5-year anniversary is this month. Anyway, in the 5 years we've done the show, we've never given a film an 8. Ever. Really? And I don't know if Guilty as Charged should be that movie.
We didn't give Titanic an 8?
No, we didn't.
All right, I won't go lower than 7, though.
No, I won't. Listen, I think 7 is great. Ooh, man, we suck dick. Our 5-year anniversary was October 8th. It was a few days ago. It was last week.
Well, I was like
you were gone. You were gone.
Yeah, I was in Vermont drinking heavily and looking at trees.
And then episode 3 was October 13th. Yeah, that was when we were doing an episode a week. That's when we were like really like hoofing it, because we'd have to go to each other's house to do this shit, which we brought up countless times on the show.
Yeah. So 7 we're going?
7 is good. And this is, this is episode 152. Didn't mention that at the beginning.
Oh, no. Yeah, by the way, you're listening to episode 152 of Moviesucktastic.
Yeah.
Film Guilty as Charged, hard to find film, so it only has 225 votes. 5 is the highest with 19.6 on IMDb.
That's wrong.
And it's all across the board. The highest demographic is 6.6 with females aged 30 to 44. Lauren Hutton right there. Lowest demographic is 4.3 with males aged 18 to 29. No nudity. So there you go.
Yeah, I've seen this movie Oblivion. I know that fucking stupid character. What a shitty fucking character. What a shitty movie that was.
Now, it's horrible that we've reviewed a film that we highly recommend as a good movie, as a fun movie, and it's not available anywhere.
It's not. You can't find it anywhere. You can't even overpay to watch it on one of the streaming sites.
So if any of our listeners wants to watch Guilty as Charged, contact me on our Facebook page, and I will send you a copy of the movie.
You know, not for anything, if we upload this movie, or I should say this episode, and we don't get flagged, I bet we can upload the film and have it on YouTube.
In the meantime, I'll Google Drive it to anybody that wants a copy, since it's like out of print and unavailable anywhere. Okay. I'm dead serious. And if you're listening to the show and you're a listener of ours, contact us on Facebook. I'll send you a copy of it.
Awesome.
Because I'm awesome. and with my internet, it'll take 5 days to do it. But
it's already on your Google Drive. So.
Oh, that's right. Oh, did I delete it? I don't know.
Oh, you
I'm not
bastard.
Sure. I don't know.
You get 15 gig of free space. You don't need to delete it.
I upload a lot of movies. I have a lot of people. I just had to send somebody The Last Boy Scout and Long Kiss Goodnight because they'd never seen them.
Oh, God. They just been playing Lost Boy Scout on cable, like endlessly, just like for Halloween this month.
Not everybody has cable, and I have it. Oh, and it's funny. Like I have, I still have it on my Google.
Oh, good.
But no, I use my 15 gigs of Google Drive.
Yeah, I don't,
sir.
I don't. Well, you know when I use it when I put stuff on there for you. That's about it.
That's because you're sweet on me.
Oh, I am.
So I'm dying of curiosity, sir.
No, you're not. Stop it.
What are you going to challenge? What film could you possibly have found that has an actor from Guilty as Charged,
right,
and also deals with the theme that involves electrocution of a killer convict?
I don't know if you're going to get this one. This is a toughie.
Give me a hint.
There's electrocution in it.
Horror show.
You're just being kind now. It has to do.
Now you're wishing you challenged me the horror show.
I actually just downloaded that recently because I haven't seen it in a long time.
I've had that for a while.
Because that was we talked about this on the show. That was dubbed Halloween 3, but only in like Europe.
House 3.
You're right. I'm sorry. House 3. Thank you. But it has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with the House franchise at all. But they called it that in Europe, I think.
Can you call it a franchise when there's only 2 movies?
I guess you can't.
I mean, technically you can, but it just feels like cheating. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like owning two things and calling it a collection. This is my collection. So you have two of them.
There's only two.
But I collected them.
Yes, they're all mine. All right, so the main character is a convict, and he's sent to death row, and is actually electrocuted.
But I'm guessing the story doesn't end there.
It. You are correct.
Yeah, I'm not going to ruin it, so you can inform the audience and myself of what we're going to be reviewing this next episode.
All right. It is the Wes Craven 1988 film Shocker. Can you believe it?
I'm shocked.
You're shocked. Starring Mitch Pileggi, who pretty much revives the character of Horace Pinker from Shocker in the small part that he has in Guilty as Charged. That is pretty much Horace Pinker, and still he starts crying like a little bitch.
But Shocker came out after, didn't it?
Didn't Shocker come out in 88?
Oh, no, I'm wrong. 89. 89. You're correct. Yeah.
I said 88, but I knew it was 89.
He was a little typecast back then, I guess.
Just a little. And then he moved right into this, like right into the X-Files. And he was a main character on the X-Files for a number of years. Well,
he started off as kind of a background character, but they turned him into a main character.
Yeah.
More and more.
Yeah.
I mean, he was. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like he was an important character, but he didn't get involved in shit until later. I think now here's the great thing about Shocker is because it's not going to take us long to review because I know for a fact we both love that film.
I love it. Even
with its weaknesses and shortcomings, it's still a great film. Yes. I mean, a film that we think is great. I do think, however, that reviewing Shocker will open the doors, especially in the Halloween month, for us to discuss Wes Craven's body of work.
Yes, so we can combine the two and make it a proper episode.
So we can make it Shocker and more. And we can just talk about Wes Craven's shit because, I mean, I don't want to challenge you to a Wes Craven film after we watch Shocker.
Thank you.
But if I do, it's going to be, which one it's going to be. Just take a guess right now. If I was, and I'm not going to, if I was going to challenge you to a Wes Craven film after we watch Shocker, which one am I going to challenge you to?
Is it
to hurt you?
To hurt me? Is it going to be My Soul to Take?
No.
No? To hurt me.
That's too new. To hurt you?
Well,
dude,
let me tell you something.
Do not pass go. Go directly to People Under the Stairs.
Okay. I actually think that My Soul to Take is worse than The People Under the Stairs. Because I saw I saw it not that long ago, and I could not believe how fucking bad it was. Now, People Under the Stairs is bad, and
yes,
but it's kind of fun. It's so bad. It's a terrible film. And I always give Mare shit about it because she grew up watching that because she was a kid when that came out, and she's partial to it. But I have to I have to explain how bad that film is to her on a regular basis when it's on. But My Soul to Take, dude, you will not believe if Wes Craven had any mojo at all, even at all, he lost it completely. And My Soul to Take is a shining example of just how bad of it, because he wrote it too, I believe, which is always bad. Let's see, did he write that shit? Yeah, he wrote and directed My Soul to Take, which is undoubtedly why it's so bad. So I was actually going to suggest that if you can, even skim through it, watch a little bit of My Soul to Take.
All right, you know what? I'm going to have to now because I've never seen My Soul to Take.
It's so fucking bad. It's so bad. I think it was in theaters for a night. That's how bad it was. It was one of those...
What? I think I saw like 10 minutes of it, though. I'm looking at screenshots they have, or screenshots, like stills they have on IMDb, and like there's like the curly-haired blonde kid, and they're hiding in a closet. And I think like my mother, notoriously into bad movies, but she doesn't realize they're bad horror films. And I think she had this on one day, and I walked through and I watched like 10 minutes because they're chasing some guy with a knife through the house.
Yes,
or something like
that is the movie. That is the movie.
Okay. Yeah, I watched 10 minutes of that, and I didn't stay for the resolution. So, I was not grabbed. So,
yeah.
I mean, shit, I walked through the room while Battleship was playing. I sat and watched the second half of that film.
Oh, so
So, yeah, shitty movie, but damn it, that's a great soundtrack.
And speaking of the soundtrack for Shocker, I love the soundtrack for. I had the soundtrack on cassette when the movie came out.
That's classic '80s horror film rock ballad.
Slasher metal. Yep.
Because you mentioned MTV, they had a point where every horror film, it was like how they hit a point where every film has to have rap music in it.
Yep.
But in the '80s, it was every horror film has to have heavy metal or hair band rock music in it, and they would have premiere video nights on MTV advertising the film because apparently, headbanging white kids listening to Snake or whatever the fuck bands were playing.
Snake.
I'm reaching. I didn't listen to any of that shit. Is that Poison? I don't know.
Poison. Yes, Poison did have like a Snake thing.
Yeah. Okay.
But that, and I'm not going to mention the film because it could be a challenge. But there's a film, a well-known '80s like film that kind of tackles that subject, and it's a horror film, and it's one of my favorites. You know the movie.
I'm going to mention it because I'm not challenging it to you.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
Not right away. Black Roses.
No, actually, that's not what I was thinking. It's another film that came out like 2-3 years after that.
Oh, you're talking about Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't have enough. We haven't because I was gone the first half of this month for the last 2 weeks. We have no time to ease into a Halloween episode, so we can't like throw a bunch of shit like that out there. So I'm just gonna mention it. Yeah, Hot Trick or Treat with Skippy from
Family Ties, who
he has a real name, but I don't know.
Yeah, he does. But I have always been growing up anyway, told that I looked like Skippy.
No.
I was always told that with the glasses and yeah.
That's great, but no.
Thank you. I appreciate it because I didn't like fucking being called Skippy. Okay.
How about this? Someone told me once I looked like Brendan Fraser. I didn't believe it. So.
Although you have told me I look like TT Boy once.
Without the glasses, though.
Without the glasses, though.
That's because somebody wears glasses all the time. You take them off. It's like, yeah, no, that's...
Yes. Well, the glasses I wear now are the clear ones, so it's pretty much how I look with the glasses, how I look without them. Kind of like what you're wearing. Boy. Yes, TT Boy. Yeah, you actually stood back and went, woo. And not like in a good way. You're like, whoa.
No. Like, holy shit.
You're like, Joey, in this light, you just look like TT Boy. And I'm like, I know who that is, so I'm not going to, just thank you, I guess.
And if you're listening and you don't know who TT Boy is, good. You're better off. You've lived a fuller life, so move on.
Yes.
Well, odds are, if you've lived a fuller life and you don't know who TT Boy is, you're not listening to this podcast. So
this is also very true. All right.
But yeah, Shocker is one of the. It's one of my favorite soundtracks too of that '80s horror film, hair band, pseudo heavy metal ballad bullshit. It was like that weird. It's a weird time in that boy. I mean, you had Alice Cooper with Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives.
Right.
You had the Dream Warriors with Freddy Krueger with Nightmare on Elm Street 3. And I know there's others, but those are just the ones popping in my head right now.
That's right. The tagline for Shocker was "No More Mr. Nice Guy," which is an Alice Cooper song, which was remade by a hair metal band for the film Shocker. And I like that version of the song too. It's got more of an up tempo to it. So it's a great soundtrack. It's a great film. The whole Satanism thing.
It's even you've got the title song Shaka, Shaka,
and one of my favorite scenes in the film Shocker, and I'll just give this one away real quick.
No, hang on. Don't stop because I almost started talking about my favorite songs too. Let's just stop and save that for the Shocker review.
Okay,
we're talking about Shocker. Let's stop.
I'm just talking about Shaft.
I almost did the same. Stop. No.
All right, you're right. You're right, because if I go into that, then it's going to lead into another scene and then another one, and then we are just going to review it this episode.
Well, we will. I will try to watch My Soul to Take before we record again.
Okay.
And I'll try to do a double feature of that with People Under the Stairs.
Oh, God.
And just see which one curls my spine more.
God, so you're going to watch 3 movies? 3 movies in the next 2 weeks?
Probably not. I said I'll try.
I will try. I don't need to watch Shocker to review it. I don't think you do either.
Me neither. That's the bad. I'm going to though, because now I have an excuse to watch it again.
Well, that's right. But we need. You might have been my father once. What? Wait, what? Anyway, but yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Wes Craven as well.
Yes, we don't need to watch the film to review, but you're right. It's an excuse to watch it, and because Mare likes People Under the Stairs so much, I know she won't be opposed to watch that fucking thing either. So, My Soul to Take. I'll have to rewatch that to get all of those bad scenes in my head again, just to remember them. Because when a film is that bad, you kind of just put it out of your mind. You know? You just don't want to revisit it ever again. But if we are going to talk Wes Craven, we need to talk about that movie. That's probably the worst thing he's ever done.
I'm looking forward to it now.
In my opinion, for sure.
Well, I mean, he didn't do that much besides Nightmare. I mean, that's wrong too. I mean, like his early career. I know. Shut the fuck up. We'll talk about him next episode.
Yes.
All right.
You're right. You're right. We could talk about my my hatred for some of his other films as well.
Oh, we'll definitely talk about that. And my love for some of his other films.
That's true. There's a few Wes Craven films I truly do enjoy.
Me too. Unfortunately, some of them aren't the same ones for us.
This is also very true. All right, so let's go ahead and end the show then.
Okay.
Nice light episode. I like that. All right, so this is episode 152 of Moviesucktastic.
Yes.
Yes. So anyway, all right. So you can go to our website at moviesucktastic.com. Download all of our episodes there. You can listen to the show right from there as well. We do this little thing called a live show every week. We use Livestream, who we hate, but we haven't found anyone we like more. So we just continue to use them. They haven't crashed my machine in a while. So we use them. You can watch the show live right from our website, or you can go to livestream.com/moviesucktastic and watch it there. Also, we post that link on Facebook, so you can watch the show live on Facebook on Thursday nights, and you can go to facebook.com/moviesucktastic for that. Please go to iTunes. That is where we get the bulk of our downloads for our shows. And while you're there, go ahead and leave a review as well. We always appreciate them. We haven't gotten a review in a while. We get 5-star ratings all the time, but we haven't gotten a review in a while. So please go ahead and do that. You can give us some feedback, phone or voicemail feedback, and that's 908-514-4470. You can also leave us email, and the address is themovieguys@moviesucktastic.com. You can go to our Tumblr page at moviesucktastic.com, moviesucktastic.tumblr.com. And I think that's it.
App.
Oh, that's the most important thing. Download the free Android app for your phone or tablet or any Android device that you have. You can listen to the show right from there. You can stream it. You can download it. You can do wallpapers. You can go to the website, merchandise. It's all there in one nice, needy, tidy package, and it's completely free. So please go ahead and download the app. And you can get that in the Google Play Store.
Yes.
And you can also go to your favorite search engine and do a search for Moviesucktastic.
Google it.
I'm not biased.
Google it.
All right, you can Google Moviesucktastic, and you'll get thousands upon thousands of search results.
What are you gonna do? Use fucking Bing? Google it.
Some people like Bing.
Who fucking likes Bing?
My father-in-law.
Who likes Bing?
My father-in-law likes Bing because he hates Google. That's a whole different episode. That's a Strangers episode right there. Anyway, Do you have any parting words of wisdom?
Yes. You can't just come in here shaking your titties around and expect to walk out.
Well, on that note, let's walk out of here.
Okay.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I said